Hi kids, this is Teacher May, your teacher for today. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the latest videos. Before we start our new lesson, let's have a short review. Name and identify the kinds of fractions represented by the given figures. Class, today we're going to learn about different types of fractions. We'll use these tables to help us classify them. Table 1, proper and improper fractions, mixed or whole numbers. You'll be working with each fraction individually. For each one, you'll need to name the fraction, identify what kind of fraction it is, proper, improper, mixed number, or whole number. Complete the table by filling in the correct category for each fraction. Proper fraction. Fraction less than 1 whole. The numerator is less than the denominator. Improper fraction. Fraction greater than or equal to 1 whole. The numerator is greater than or equal to the denominator. Mixed number. Fraction that has a whole number and a proper fraction greater than 1 whole. Alright everyone, now we're going to put our fraction knowledge to the test. We'll be working with table 2, which has two groups of fractions. For group 1, fractions with the same denominators. For group 2, fractions with different denominators. Your task is to classify the fractions into 3 sets. One set with fractions that have the same denominators. 2 sets with fractions that have different denominators. And then name each fraction. Once you've done that, you'll get to present your answers to the class and explain how you sorted the fractions. Let us answer these questions. What have you noticed with the denominators of the first set of fractions in Table 2? Second set and third set of fractions in the same table. Aside from having either common or different denominators, what have you noticed with the kinds of fractions given within a set of fractions? Let us unlock your vocabulary. Similar fractions are sets of fractions with common denominators. Dissimilar fractions are sets of fractions with different denominators. As a set, both similar and dissimilar fractions may compose of proper fraction, improper fraction, and mixed or whole number. Modeling dissimilar fractions with denominators up to 10 using fraction strips or bars, fraction discs or circles, and number line. Let's have paper folding and coloring activity. To make our activity even more exciting and interactive, I'll be reading out some statements. While I'm reading, you'll be busy using your paper folding and coloring skills to show me how these problems work. Paper 1. Kim has a rectangular cake divided into 4 equal parts. She wants to give her friends 1 slice each. If she has 2 friends, how much part of the cake was distributed among her friends? Paper 2. Theon divided his paper into 8 equal parts and shaded half of it. What fraction represents the shaded parts? Paper 3. Rafa's rectangular vegetable garden was equally divided into 3 parts. He plans to plant tomato seeds in one part of the garden and mungo seeds in the rest of the vegetable garden. What part of the garden will be planted with tomato seeds? Paper 4. Kelvin decided to divide his paper into 6 equal parts and shaded 2 parts of it. What fraction represents the shaded part? Let's take a look at the amazing work some of you have put up on the board. Now, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about what you've done. If you look at each example by itself, what kind of fraction it is? Remember, we learned about proper fractions. Now, let's look at all the examples together. What do you notice about the numbers on the bottom of each fraction? What do you call a set of fractions with different denominators? What have you noticed with shaded parts of the dissimilar fractions 2/4 and 4/8, 1/3, and 2/6? Dissimilar fractions are sets of fractions with different denominators. These sets of fractions may include proper fractions, improper fractions, mixed or whole numbers, or combination thereof. Visual representation of dissimilar fractions may help us see fractions in a tangible way and understand better those different denominators represent varying parts of the whole. Now, let us work on more examples using manipulatives. Using fraction strips and or fraction bars, you will model the following sets of dissimilar fractions. Using fraction discs or fraction bars, you will model the following sets of dissimilar fractions. Using a number line, you will model the following sets of dissimilar fractions. Let's have an activity. Complete the table. For numbers 1 to 3, illustrate each set of fractions by drawing any of the following: fraction bars or strips, fraction discs or circles, number lines. For number 4 to 5, given the fraction models, name the set of dissimilar fractions. Modeling equivalent fractions using fraction strips or bars, fraction discs or circle, and number line. Matching fraction twin cards. Class, I've hidden some fraction cards under your chairs. If you find the card, your job is to find the classmate who has the card showing the same fraction, even if it looks different. Once you find your match, come to the front and show us your cards. After you've explained your fractions, we'll put both cards up on the board. Let us show off our fraction cards. When it's your turn, tell us, I am 2/3 and I am 4/6. We are fractions with the same value or quantity. Below are the models found on each of the fraction cards. What have you noticed with the denominators of each pair of fractions? What have you noticed with their numerators? How were you able to identify your twin fractions? What do you call fractions with the same size? Equivalent fractions are fractions with different numerators and denominators but represent the same fraction. From the given examples, it can also be noticed that equivalent fractions come from the same whole. Let us have more examples using other visual representations. Let's take a look at this diagram. I'll either show you a large version or we'll look at it on the screen. What fraction does each shaded part represent? What did you notice on the size of each shaded part? How do you call fractions that name or represent the same fraction? Draw another strip below the diagram to represent other fraction equivalent to 1/2, 2/4, 3/6, and 4/8. Example number 2. Let's get creative with paper folding. Everyone gets a circle of paper, all the same size. Now, let's fold them. Fold your circle in half to make 2 equal parts. Now, fold it in half again to make 4 equal parts. And we can keep going, making even more parts by folding. Let's see how many different ways we can divide our circles. Now, let's add some color. Coloring in parts of your folded circles will really help us understand fractions, especially equivalent fractions, fractions that are equal even though they look different. I'll show you some examples of colored circles that show equivalent fractions. One-third. The same whole is divided into 3 equal parts and one part is shaded. 2/6. The whole is divided into 6 equal parts and 2 are shaded. 4/12. The same whole is divided into 12 equal parts and 4 parts are shaded. Let us have another example. 5/2. The number line shows whole numbers 0 to 3. Each part is divided into 2 equal parts from one whole number to the next. Hence, the number line shown is divided into a total of 6 parts. The 5th part represents the fraction. 10/4. The number line shows whole numbers 0 to 3. Each part is divided into 4 equal parts from one whole number to the next. Hence, the number line shown is divided into 12 parts. The 10th part represents the fraction. 28. The number line shows whole numbers 0 to 3. Each part is divided into 8 equal parts from one whole number to the next. Hence, the number line shown is divided into 24 parts. The 20th part represents the fraction. Therefore, 5 halves, 10 fourths, and 28ths are equivalent fractions. They have different numerators and denominators. They are dissimilar fractions. Also, they come from the same whole. Let's use our fraction tools, fraction strips, circles, and number lines to show these fractions. Let's see how we can represent them visually. Let's have an activity. Choose from the box the fractions equivalent to the given fraction. Then, draw each of them using either fraction strips or bars, fraction disc or circle, or number line. Use the table provided to organize your answers. Draw or model the fractions using fraction bars or strips, fraction circles or discs, and number lines. Then, determine whether these fractions are equivalent or not. Put a check if the fractions are equivalent and X if they are not.